Reeves Immigration Law Group now brings you Immigration Law on Your Side.
Magandang gabi mga kaibigan. Ito po na naman ang Reeves Immigration Law Group's Immigration Law on Your Side sa PHLV Radio. And last episode, napag-usapan natin ang mga updates sa maraming mga issues tungkol sa immigration. Kaya kailangan nandito na naman po ang partner ng Reeves Immigration Law Group, si Attorney Flomi Javier Diza sa PHLV Radio. Magandang gabi po sa iyo, Attorney.
Magandang gabi, Kuya Yo. At it's always my pleasure to be here and discuss important immigration issues.
It is our pleasure, Attorney. At ating mga tagapakinig ay excited na naman para sa mga pag-uusapan natin. Although mga kababayan, like what we posted on our Facebook page, at alam ko, inaabangan nyo itong episode na ito dahil ito po ay tungkol sa removal proceedings kung kayo po ay i-deport. Kaya medyo serious itong situation na ito. Kaya kailangan natin ng updates or information galing mismo kay Attorney Flomi Javier Diza. Attorney, how can a person be removed from the United States?
Well, there are many ways, Kuya Yo, para i-deport ang isang mga TNT na tinatawag natin tago ng tago. But to mention a few, unang-una yung mga overstay.
Okay.
Right? Pwede ka nilang i-deport. Let's say, you come here on a tourist visa valid for 6 months.
Hindi ka umuwi.
Hindi ka umuwi. Then you overstayed. Then the government has the right to initiate what we call a removal proceedings. Or let's say you get married to a citizen and they found out that this is a marriage for convenience.
Yeah, it's a fraud.
Marriage fraud.
Yeah.
So by finding yan, they can also remove you from the U.S. Because of marriage fraud. Or you commit a crime, a serious felony, right? Or a criminal, even a simple DUI can place this, undocumented or mga TNT or even lawful permanent resident, Kuya Yo, no? Pag serious criminal offense or criminal conviction, they can still be removed from the United States. So or they claiming to be a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
So there are numerous ways, to initiate removal proceedings against what we call an immigrant.
Well, election season, Attorney, merong nagtanong sa atin, yun daw na bumoto na hindi ka naman pala U.S. citizen. Of course, that's a fraud, right?
That's actually there's a specific provision din sa Immigration and Nationality Act, illegal voting if you're not eligible. That's also a ground for deportation or removal. Para kang lang nag-falsely claim to be a U.S. citizen din,
right.
Kuya Yo, no? The only exception dyan sa mga falsely claiming to be a U.S. citizen or even voting is that if you believe that you are a U.S. citizen because your parents are U.S. citizen. Pero siyempre karamihan naman sa mga, di ba, sa mga kababayan natin, if their parents are not citizen, most likely, if the children are not a green card holder yet, most likely their parents are not U.S. citizen. So those are major violations or major offense that could lead possible to a removal proceedings.
Well, that is as far as removability is concerned. Yung past episode na pag-usapan natin in detail, yung mga grounds for inadmissibility naman. Yung in the first place ay hindi ka pwedeng tanggapin sa Amerika.
Oo.
Ano po, Attorney, ang ilan sa mga reasons for inadmissibility?
Yung napag-usapan natin last episode, Kuya Yo, yung public charge.
Public charge, yeah.
So now, noon, we seldom see, yung grounds of inadmissibility, yung public charge. So yung finding na you are likely to be a public charge, baka depende ka lang ng financial mo sa gobyerno, sustenance mo and everything. But now, if yung totality of circumstances that we discussed during the episode, the government can find them inadmissible based on public charge ground. So that's also very important sa mga kababayan natin to make sure na when you file your green card application or even your visa application, to make sure that you are not a public charge by showing that you have an asset, that your petitioner has an income, and you have a good credit score, that you are able to work, that you are able to speak English, and those are the positive factors for the public charge ground. And also one of the reasons then is yung crimes that could also be another reason, very very specific, conviction of a criminal offense offense or criminal violations. One of the grounds then would be yung mga claiming to be a US citizen. So basically magkapareho lang or similar rather ang grounds for removability and inadmissibility and even fraud. Very common sa mga Filipino ang pag-commit ng fraud. Let's say they are unable to get a what do you call it, tourist visa under their real name.
Okay.
Then
Pinalitan yung pangalan.
Pinalitan yung pangalan or nag-assume sila ng ibang pangalan, right? So those are very common grounds of inadmissibility.
Iba yung pangalan sa passport, iba yung yung kanilang mga documents.
Iba ang date of birth, iba ang magulang, So yeah, those are reasons for inadmissibility.
Well, in terms of especially removal, nandito ka na sa America and everything, right? How will they notify you kung say for example, kababayan natin nag-overstay more than 6 months, tourist visa, paano kanila kukontakin? Is there a notice na papadala, letter or something?
Yes, Kuya, you could just imagine if you're going to do the math and look at the statistics for the last years. They were saying there were about more than 10 million.
Okay.
Undocumented, TNT, or nag-expire yung kanilang status. So kind of like, it's kind of difficult for the government to individually go after these people, right? So and issue them a notice, what we call like notice to appear. So it is unfortunate on your part, and I think I emphasized this many times during our past discussion, that the government go after you if, number one, you commit a major offense or a crime. You commit a crime, and they search the system and wala ka palang status. Okay, we'll refer you to the immigration officer. Pangalawa, somebody reported you to USCIS. Itong si Pedro, nagtatrabaho na walang papel, galit sa'yo, hindi mo binayaran ng utang mo, yung mga ganon, or nainggit sa'yo. Or even yung mga friends and close family members, sila pang nagre-report. And those are, actual scenarios na nangyayari. Pangatlo would be you apply for a benefit. So TNT ka halimbawa, you've been out of status for 10 years and then you get married to a citizen and then it didn't work, na-deny, right? And then that's also a ground for them to place you in removal proceedings. So those are the three major instances where you receive, a what we call a removal notice, right? Hindi ka naman basta-basta i-deport, right? There are only few people na pwedeng i-deport, di ba? Like right away. Let's say nahuli si Juan ngayon, diretso sa Pilipinas. There are only few of those situations where, let's say si Juan had a prior removal order. Dumaan na sa proseso, right? At hindi siya umuli, sabi ng judge, unfortunately, I will not grant you relief. I'll order you remove to the Philippines. Tapos hindi siya umalis within the specified time. Nahuli siya ulit, wala na siyang pag-asa.
Diretso na siya ngayon.
Correct. So, yun yung mga yan. Prior removal order or yung mga serious criminal conviction din. Right? So, either kasi walang piyansa yan so pwede silang mag-stay doon habang hinihintay yung kanilang papel o uwi na lang sila. Or yung mga nahuli within 14 days upon entry in the US, pwede rin i-deport ka agad. Pero yung mga matagal na dito, hindi basta-basta pwede na padadalan ka ng sulat at uwi ka na bukas o uwi ka na within 30 days. That's not the process. Now, the process, there's what we call due process. So it also, the due process, right, is also afforded to undocumented or yung mga out of status na mga immigrants, right? So then they give you a notice to appear. Ano ba yung notice to appear? Ito yung piece of paper sent to an individual charging them of what we discussed, right? That you are inadmissible because you overstayed. You are inadmissible because you are committed fraud. So then that's when people come to us, to represent them and defend them before the immigration judge.
Kailangan ba magpanic pagka nakakita ka ng notice to appear?
That's what we tell our clients. Don't panic. Don't hide, right? Face it. Kasi kung natanggap mo yon at walang proof ng gobyerno that you did not receive it, ituloy na lang yung case. And that's not a good thing because magkakaroon ka ng final removal of order. So what we advise our client is sit down to an immigration attorney and discuss your options, kung anong pwedeng gawin o paano ka namin i-depensa.
What are the usual options, attorney, pagka may ganun? Usual na pwedeng remedyo?
Now, yung mga, let's say, yung mga people who applied for, let's say, H-1B, or extension ng kanilang status at na-deny and then they place in removal proceedings, pwede natin ilaban yun na, incorrect yung application of law or decision ng USCIS. Or let's say you get married and USCIS said, we don't believe your relationship. We have enough proof to deny your case. You committed fraud, and we refer you to immigration judge. Then we fight the case saying that, look, if our clients are still together, right, and insist that the marriage is legitimate, we tell immigration that, look, this is a legitimate marriage, right? This is where the problem lies. You know, hindi naintindihan siguro ng isa sa mga applicant yung tanong mo, or nagkaroon ng site visit where one of the parties, you know, yung couple is working like overnight, you know, wala gaanong mga gamit doon dahil ang trabaho is caregiver, for example, you know, at nasa care home, you know, for the whole 5 days at wala siya doon at nakita na wala. So, yung mga ganun, we need to overcome, right? Tell them that you have to overcome the marriage fraud finding by saying that this is a legitimate relationship. Now, let's say if you commit a crime, there might be other options then, like you fear of going back because let's say you are some clients who are drug addicts, for example, right? And there was conviction of possession of methamphetamine or, you know, mga prohibited drugs. And they tell us now, I'm afraid to go home because something might, you know, something happened to me. Something bad might happen to me when I go home. So there's what we call an asylum, where because of past experiences, they suffered persecution from the government, either from the government or from the government organization, from, let's say, the New People's Army or the Communist Party or rebel groups that the government is unwilling or unable to what do you call this, to stop. Or pwede rin yung fear of future persecution, yung sinabi natin kanina, drug addict siya and then nababasa na sa mga onlines or mga napapanood sa television where the present administration in the Philippines are going after, right, drug addicts, and he might fear that he will be targeted because of that. So yung mga ganon, pwedeng relief, because otherwise, Kuya Yo, if you don't have any relief na i-discuss sa court, wala kang option kundi magkakaroon ka ng order of removal right away. Now, unless, of course, pag sinabi mo, meron akong relief judge, you know, the judge might wait for that decision. Let's say, sabi mo, this is a legitimate marriage, hintay mo ma-approve muna yung petition ng asawa mo before we go back to the court. So there's an option still, you know, they can still work, they can still establish the relationship.
I'll buy you time.
Buy time, that's correct.
Right. It might not be related to this discussion. Naisip ko lang, attorney, yung airport to airport na sinasabi, is it because of some sort of ground of inadmissibility kung bakit na airport to airport ka?
Yes, Kuya, that's also grounds of inadmissibility if they found out that the person applying for admission, right, yung mga papasok pa lang. Habang
nandun ka sa port of entry.
Oo. Technically, wala ka pa sa territory ng US, parang you're just applying for admission. They found out that the applicant either committed fraud, right, or committed a crime. So then and then they have the right to automatically remove them. And again, the people seeking admission to the US, they don't have the equal protection of due process as people who are already in the US, inside the US. So yun ang palaging sinasabi, attorney, can I hire you when I come to the US and I have problems? Sabi ko, no, because the US Constitution, US Supreme Court already decided that people seeking admission to the US have no right to an attorney or equal due process as people who are already in the US.
Unless nakapasok ka na. And you've been here for more than 14 days at least. Okay. Wow, mga kabigan, actually marami nagtanong sa atin yan, attorney, and marami silang mga gustong malinaw sa area na yan. So yan, mga kabigan, napakinggan nyo si Attorney Flomi Diza sa tinanong nyong airport to airport sa ating programa. Mga kabigan, patuloy po ka nakikinig sa Immigration Law on Your Side. Hatid po sa inyo ng ating mga kaibigan from Reeves Immigration Law Group. May kailangan po kayo tungkol sa immigration. Tumawag lamang sa 1-800-795-8009. They have offices in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Philippines, and China. Your Immigration Law on Your Side will be back after this. Diyan lang po kayo, mga kababayan.
Reeves Immigration Law Group has been representing immigrants for nearly 40 years. Reeves Immigration Law Group has been fighting for its clients through experience and expertise. With immigration lawyers you can access at reasonable fees, even on Saturday. Payment plans are also available. Call us for your immigration solutions. We can do worldwide telephone and Skype consultations. Reeves Immigration Law Group, 1-800-795-8009. Reeves Reeves Immigration Law Group has offices in Los Angeles, San Francisco, China, and Philippines. See us at www.rreeves.com. Reeves Immigration Law Group, 1-800-795-8009.
Mga kaibigan, nababalik po ang Immigration Law on your side sa PHLV Radio. We're right here on the radio every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Las Vegas time and Pacific time. Mga kaibigan, ang Reeves Immigration Law Group may opisina sa Los Angeles area, San Francisco, Philippines, and China. Again, their number is 1-800-795-8009. On this episode of Immigration Law on your side, we are talking about removal proceedings, mga inadmissibility ng ating mga kababayan or anybody seeking admission to the United States. And before we headed over to a break, we were talking about the notice to appear. Pagka kayo po mga kaibigan ay nabigyan na ng letter or ng notice na kailangan po kayong asikasuhin nyo yung inyong status, ay kung hindi ay pauuwiin kayo sa Pilipinas. Attorney, ito po bang pagka say for example, you've been given this notice to appear or you're in court already or something, is there some sort of a bond that you can apply for that para matulungan ka na nandito ka muna?
Yes, Kuya Yo. Usually yan, yung mga kinukulong ay may mga serious, what do you call this, criminal records. Usually, if a person is convicted of a crime, from the criminal prison, usually ite-turn over yan sa USCIS or ICE officer, what we call detainer. Ite-turn over yan para sila naman ang mag-process sa'yo para i-deport. So usually yan mahirap i-ban because, especially if it's a major offense, you need to, convince the judge that this person is not a flight risk. Diba? May pamilya dito, may anak diyan, hindi yan tatakas, right? Meron siyang trabaho. Right? For example, meron siyang, there are many factors to discuss. This is only the only violation. He has properties, he has a stable job, he has family, children, parents, spouse. So you need to discuss that, go to the judge, and the judge will set a bond. Usually, ang minimum dyan, Kuya, is 1,500, 1,500, as high as 15,000, or there are situations where non-bandable, ibig sabihin hindi pwedeng i-ban, non-bailable rather, yung kanilang crimes. So they stay in immigration hold or immigration detention until matapos ang kaso. Which is unfortunately minsan, we want the case to drag longer para lang magkaroon sana ng, options to fight the case, and look for other options. But, sometimes yung pag matagal masyado naman ayaw nila, di ba? So, a lot of people would just prefer to let's go home. But of course, if we believe they have a very strong case, we tell them that, stay put and we'll handle this case for you.
Well, of course, immigration is one thing, but if you committed a crime, that's another thing.
Correct. Yes.
Course. Yeah, so you will still be prosecuted according to your crime if you did something bad here.
Correct. Yes. So if and then again, a violation of a crime like a serious criminal conviction or felony, that's a ground for both removability and inadmissibility. So then the government is trying to remove you, but there are options there. Kagaya ng sabi ko sa'yo, if they are green card holders, right? They've been here for a very long time, right? 7 years. They've been a green card holder 7 years after or after the conviction. They have spouse or minor children who would suffer extreme hardship. We can fight the case with what we call cancellation of removal for green card holders. And that's usually like exercise of discretion from the immigration judge. And they want to see that this person has rehabilitated. Kung mga nagbago na siya, ideal citizen na siya, good father, good provider, and stuff like that. So those are the possible options sa mga taong nasa removal proceedings.
Well, just speaking about this situation, when you appear in court, give us a picture, attorney, being abogado. How does it look when you're appearing in court? What's going on there?
It's actually nerve-wracking for a client to go there because yung mga napapanood sa TV nandun sila, di ba? It's actually different from USCIS interviews. Let's say you go to your citizenship interview, right?
Right. Yun pa lang, nakakatakot na.
Pero yun, that's only an administrative proceedings, meaning kausap mo lang yung officer dun sa kanyang office, di ba? May table, and then nandun ka lang, and then very casual, di ba? In fact, maraming client nanginginig pagpunta doon, but I said, just relax. But this immigration proceedings where there's a judge, right? And there's a government attorney. Sila yung parang prosecutor yan eh. Sila sabi, gusto ko namin i-deport ka namin.
Right.
Diba? Sila yung nag-i-insist na this person need to be deported because, he violated the law, blah, 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 And siyempre, nandun ka naman as the defense attorney or immigration attorney defending the respondent. So, the initial master hearing is, marami yan, Kuya Yo. Maraming tao. Ibig sabihin, they schedule mga 20 to 30 respondents in like half day.
Oh, okay.
So parang pre-trial sa criminal proceedings where tatanungin sa'yo, ito ba si Attorney Diza is your lawyer? What language do you prefer? And then anong relief mo? So, and how do you plea? Kasi may mga ano rin doon may pleading din doon. Doon sa notice to appear saying that you are Juan de la Cruz is a Filipino citizen. You entered the United States in 1990, Los Angeles area. You overstayed your status and that's a violation of USCIS. So you admit. So overstay. Right? And you concede that he's removable kasi totoo naman na nag-overstay siya based on records. Wala kang magagawa, hindi mo pwedeng i-deny.
Yeah.
And then the thing there is what's your form of relief? Sabi mo, Your Honor, my client has a petition from his mother, right, in 2009, na current na ngayon, di ba, pwede na siyang mag-green card. Yung mga ganon. So then the judge would set you for what we call individual hearing where the judge will hear your case, let's say 8 months from today or as far back as 3 years from today. Kasi masyadong backlog sila, Kuya Yo. So that's how it works, and then we have enough time to prepare.
Right.
Yung preparation aspect, yung ano doon, Kuya Yo, because once you're given that time to present your case before the judge, ikaw lang yung i-hear ng judge usually. And they give you like 3 hours to present your case, right? To have your witnesses. And then also either ang witness mo would be your relative. And also, let's say, psychological evaluation. Halimbawa, you say, I'm a battered spouse, right? Binubugbog ako, sinasaktan ako ng asawa ko, right? Or kahit walang physical abuse, it was mental torture or financial abuse or emotional abuse. So, may psychological evaluation dyan that details yung statement and trauma and experience. At magte-testify din yung psychiatrist. Yung mga ganyan. So, you need to present at one time. And then once you're presenting your case, Kuya, siyempre mauna yung respondent niyan magte-testify, right? Ina-cross-examine ng abogado. Doon titignan nila yung how credible you are.
Yeah.
Tama bang pinagsasabi mo dito? And of course, the judge can always interfere and say, okay, I will need to clarify this and that. That's why really important sa mga kababayan natin is yung preparation and hiring an attorney who knows what he's doing because, you might go there and say a different story that you were from the paperwork that you filed, right?
Right.
Sabi mo dito, dumaan ka sa Canada through, right? Seattle area. Bakit dito sinabi mo Mexico naman? Or sinabi mo you came in with a different name, which is weird. So kung nalilito ka doon o hindi mo alam sasabihin mo, the judge finds you, even if you have a very strong case, right? The judge might find you not credible and deny the case.
Yeah, kaya mga kaibigan, kailangan ang good eye of our immigration attorneys para sa sitwasyon na ito. All right, so mga kaibigan, on this episode we talked about removal proceedings, inadmissibility, removability. Isa sa pahabol na tanong, attorney, fast forward, if you've been removed, you went to the Philippines, bumalik ka na sa Pilipinas, are you inadmissible na? Hindi ka na makakabalik? Are you banned forever?
There are things here, Kuya. What if you are ordered removed and if you think that the decision is wrong, right? Or, what do you call this, against the law, pwedeng i-appeal pa yan. So may 2 levels of appeal pa, Board of Immigration Appeals or the Ninth Circuit if you live in Nevada or California or Hawaii, yung Ninth Circuit jurisdiction, mayroong mga circuit courts. Now, if you opt to leave, right, you are barred for 10 years if you overstay for more than a year.
10 years, mga kababayan, if you overstayed for over a year.
Over a year.
Okay.
Right, and even if you fight your case here and if you have a removal order, okay lang umalis kung nasa less than 6 months pa ng overstay mo eh. Right? You can always come back here, within 5 years. Ang problema 5 years pala yun kung may removal order ka.
Okay.
But most Filipinos, they overstay when they are in court, they already overstay. So 10-year bar sila. Now, before the 10-year bar, they can come back here, through a petition ng immediate family kagaya ng anak or asawa.
Oh.
Right? So they can come back. But subject din sa what we call waiver. Magpa-file ka muna ng waiver if whatever the crime committed was either crime or overstay. But the thing, Kuya Yo, is that if you were not able to fight your case in court, right, and not able to convince the immigration judge, it's harder to convince the consular officer, right, sa Pilipinas.
Sa Pilipinas.
So that's the doon. Kaya as much as possible, we want them here and fight their case here in the US.
Okay. So, mga kababayan, kung meron po kayong additional questions about this topic, just send us an email, info@phlvradio.com. Okay naman po sa Immigration Law on Your Side, sa website po ng ating mga kaibigan from Reeves Immigration Law Group, rreeves.com. Attorney, before we end this program, baka meron po kayong other takeaways.
Yes, sa mga viewers and listeners natin, maraming salamat ulit. At yung mga client or mga people who are in removal proceedings, Kuya Yo, it's really very difficult process sa kanilang stage ng status nila fighting their case here. Going to court, as I mentioned, is nerve-wracking on their part.
Yep.
And I've during the 15 years or more than 15 years that I've been practicing, ito naman yung fulfillment natin mga abogado, fighting a very good case if you think that they are deserving here, and you present them in court. Sometimes hindi mo iwasan yung mga nagte-testify because they've been here, they've been doing great job and everything to sometimes napapaiyak na sa court, sa witness stand, And I know there's a lot of people, even if they violated their status, there might be there are reasons why they do that, but there are also good, what do you call it, defense, right, for them to stay here. And that's why it's really important to find a good attorney to assess. Kasi kikita natin I have clients as early as in 1980s that they were here, and or 1990s, 20, 30, even 40 years. Because they messed up their case by having an attorney that didn't help them.
Okay.
Right. But finding an attorney, right, Reeves Immigration Law Group, I think we are passionate of what we do. We are compassionate to our client, and that's what I am proud of, being one of the partners at Reeves Immigration Law Group. We have been here for more than 40 years, and I would say that most of the attorneys here are immigration law specialists. We specialize in immigration only. We are here to defend immigration rights, and of course, able to find ways for them to help, whether they are finding ways to legalize their status in the U.S. or they are defending their cases before the immigration judge. And again, as you mentioned, we have several offices. You can find us also on Facebook, Reeves Immigration Law Group. We have also several social media accounts. You can find it Instagram and Twitter, and of course our website www.rreeves.com.
All right. So, Attorney, maraming salamat. Thank you so much for giving us this information. I'm sure mga kababayan natin nalinawan, and also, our international viewers and listeners, you now have a picture of what may be a ground for inadmissibility if you try to apply for admission to the United States of America. So mga kababayan, maraming salamat po again, Attorney. Thank you very much. And mga listeners natin, at nandito po tayo sa PHLV Radio every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Kalendaryo nyo na po yan, 7 p.m. Pacific time. And also, nasa Facebook Live din. And also, our podcasts. Pag na-miss nyo ito, mapapakinggan nyo pa rin kami sa iHeartRadio, iTunes, na ngayon ay Apple Podcast na. And of course, ang very popular na Spotify, nandyan din po ang Immigration Law on Your Side. So until next time, this has been your Kuya Yo for Immigration Law on Your Side, brought to you by Reeves Immigration Law Group. Until next time.
Thank you.
Reeves Immigration Law Group has just brought you Immigration Law on Your Side, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Pacific on PHLV Radio.